So if you're not paying attention to what you're doing on Google, that's got a ripple effect when people are trying to search for you, not just on Google or Safari, but also on ChatGPT, for example.
It's far-reaching. That's right. It's a ripple effect. If you drop, it's a piece of information in a pond, and where you drop that piece of information, it goes out and out and out and out there, right?
The Kid Carson Show is taped at MindfulMEDS Studio inside Conscious Lab, downtown Vancouver, Canada. This episode powered by PHMX, stem cells, breathwork, even ayahuasca.
I have had the most support, hands down, from your listeners coming to see us. It's been epic. And so it's like, I'm like, these are my people, man. When you find who your people are, service the shit out of them.
To learn more, find the link in the show notes. All right, John's in here. We just started talking, and he's like, "Are we recording?" I'm like, "Oh, I should hit record."
Well, I'm the guy on the Zoom calls that always says, "Can we record, please?"
Right.
Because I'm 61 years old. I don't take good notes. I'm in the moment, so I don't want to be writing.
But dude, thanks for being here, man.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Great to meet you, John from Alicat Designs.
Alicat Signs and Marketing.
Alicat Signs and Marketing.
Yeah. So let's go back to the beginning. When I bought the business in 2009, my wife and I bought the business. It was Alicat Insta Signs, and that was I didn't want that name, and I changed it to Alicat Signs and Marketing. I didn't have any idea what the and marketing was going to be. We just started signs. Then this thing COVID happened, and then the and marketing started. Yeah. So you wanted to hear the story about how I bought the business. So let me tell you that. So 2008, I'm working for Jim Pattison Automotive Group in Victoria, Metro Toyota, a great company to work for. But I started getting some stomach pains, and basically that was Wednesday night. Thursday, I had a manager's meeting. I called and I said, I can't make it to the manager's meeting, and you have to go. You have to go to the manager's meeting whether it's your morning off or not. Anyways, I called sick. It's the first time in 6 years. And my boss called me back and said, when you come back to work? And I said, well, I'm planning on coming in for my shift this afternoon. Anyways, a couple of days later, I'm in emergency with a burst appendix.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I had gone to the clinic, and the doctor looked at me, and she says, I'm making 2 calls, 1 to the ambulance and 2 to see what surgeon is on at the hospital. So that was it. So I had been infected for multiple days, and then it burst, and I almost died. And then I got septic and a whole bunch of complications, so I was off for a couple of weeks. But 3 days later, or 3 days after this happened, my boss called me and said, when you come back to work? And I won't pick out any names. Overall, the company was really good to work for. But when I got back to work, part of my job as a manager was I had to measure the performance of my salespeople who worked for me, and also my personal performance. And my personal performance went down by 40%. So I know you've had career challenges over the years, right? If you don't, it's one thing not to believe in yourself, but if you believe in yourself and the people around you don't believe in you, it changes how you feel about yourself.
Yeah.
And I knew I couldn't do this anymore. So it was a crossroads. So we had we had 3 kids, all teenagers or less, 3 boys, and we decided to remortgage our house. So we doubled the mortgage on our house, and we bought Alicat Signs and Marketing. Wow. And that was 16 years ago. And my wife works with me full time. We drive to work together every day. We spend 8 hours a day working together. My oldest son, Chase, he works for us. He's been with us for 7 years now. My other 2 boys have both worked with me before they went off to school and started families and stuff like that. So,
wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool that you guys have that marriage.
Bit of a miracle. It's,
a bit of a miracle.
Kudos to my wife. Kudos to me for not screwing it up.
Well, yeah, because statistically, that's really tough.
It is.
Some people can't do that, but you guys are all day, all night.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, we run our business the same way we raised our 3 kids, and the same way that we kind of run our marriage. The golden rule, it's in the Bible. Treat others the way you want to be treated. And so being able to do that, and we make lots of mistakes along the way, trust me. My kids will tell you, my wife will tell you, even some of my customers, check out, I got a couple 1-star Google reviews. We'll come to that later. But treat people the way you want to be treated. But that's how we run our business.
Wow. And how many years married?
39.
39?
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, you look too young for that. I'm not joking.
My wife keeps me young.
Yeah.
We had our first kiss June 1st, 1985. We got married June 1st, 1986.
Ladies, listen to this. He remembers the date. Done. Everyone loves you. That's pretty much it. Good for you, man. A lot of people can't remember their anniversary, let alone their first kiss.
It's not about me.
Right? Good for you, man. No, I could tell you're a great guy. I'm glad we've met. And So listen, you built this business. It's award-winning. Everyone in Victoria, in Vancouver, Lower Mainland, no. But you guys are like award-winning in Victoria as like the go-to place for online marketing, sign creation, sculpture building. You're all over the place.
We've had some fun projects. We did one recently for the Simon Keith Foundation. So Simon Keith is a professional athlete, first professional athlete to play after he had a heart transplant. And he's actually had 3 organ transplants now. But now he gives back to the community by raising money for heart transplant families that need support. Because it's a very expensive thing to be away from work with your kids and stuff like that. So a company hired us to be involved with doing a bunch of the presentation stuff. So we actually wrapped the front of the Victoria Convention Center. It's on our Facebook posted there. Their logo is a circle with a heart in the middle and then a Canadian flag or a maple leaf in the middle of it. We sculpted this 10-foot sculpture of their logo. So it's basically the size of this building, this unit that you and I are in right now, this pod. And it was the most stressful thing I've ever been involved in my life. Like I was starting to get, chest tightness. I wasn't having a heart attack, but you think raising 3 sons and being married for 39 years, owning my own business, almost dying. No, this was it. Because I don't want this to sound self-serving, but because I try to give my customers the best, I didn't want to overpromise and underdeliver. I had one shot to make this thing work, and it all came off without a hitch. It was fantastic, but we had to engineer suspension for it. Like usually you do a big project like this, and the union of the building, if in show business, there's riggers and gaffers and stuff like that, and they have to do the installation. Well, like 5 days before the job, I get a call, no, you need to do this. We can't do this. So now I've got to engineer this whole thing. Anyways, it all worked out. They raised $3 million for organ transplants. So congratulations to the Simon Keith Foundation, and thanks to MR Global Productions for choosing Alley Cat Signs. I really appreciate it.
Amazing. And is that normally something you would create? Like freestanding structures like that?
No.
That was a new thing.
That's the great thing about what we do is it's a new challenge every day. We get, I can't drive down a street in Victoria, and I've done projects here in Vancouver as well. And it warms my heart to see projects that I've done that have been there for, I've owned the business for 16 years. So some of them have been there for 16 years, but there's other Alley Cat projects that have been around for, the company's 40 years old now. So some of them are 20, 30, 40 years old.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Well, we met because I want to do something with the booth here.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
Sort of because we're inside Conscious Lab, and it's like this freestanding cube inside this space, and we want to make it look cool from the outside.
Yeah.
I mean, on the inside, we want to make it look good for the people watching, but on the outside, there's a lot of events that happen at Conscious Lab constantly.
Yeah.
And I wanted to make the booth look good, so it's fun talking to different ideas with you about how to make it pop, but not be too loud. But also keep
it simple. So many things in life, people overcomplicate things. Like, oh my gosh, I lived in Vancouver about 25 years ago. We lived in Ladner for 5 years. Came here with 1 kid, left with 3, and but coming back here, oh my gosh, it's like the traffic, and it took me almost 2 hours to get from the ferry to downtown Vancouver. Well, I had to go over to the North Shore a bit, but
I know I'm getting old too, man. I know it's like. Everything's getting too loud.
Well,
things are too busy. There's too much. What's the visual pollution? When you're young, you just want the madness. I lived downtown Toronto in my 20s, and
I don't want that pace of life anymore. I mean, I came back to Victoria, and it took me a while to figure out how to drive that slow again. And now we're putting in more cycling lanes and lowering the speed limits. So it's a good thing I'm getting old, because I am slowing down a bit.
I know, it's crazy, right?
Yeah.
We all just want to be a tent somewhere in a cabin, I don't know, in the woods somewhere.
Or Phoenix with my grandkids.
Right.
Hey, I wanted to tell you this. I have 2 grandsons, Davis and Carson.
No kidding.
Yeah.
You told your son or your daughter.
Sorry.
Which one did you tell them to name it after me?
No, they named him Carson Derrick, and Derrick is my middle name, so I'm very honored to that. So
that's cool. Carson Derrick.
Yeah, so I had to do the podcast. I had to work with you.
That sounds like a famous name.
Doesn't it?
Carson Derrick?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Congratulations, man.
Thank you. And his brother's name is Davis. So Davis and Carson, they sound like they should be a law firm or something together, right?
Yeah. This is good. The next generation of the Alley Cat team.
There you go. And June, my granddaughter, she can, I don't know, maybe she'll be a teacher like her mom.
Yeah. Oh, it's amazing. I can tell how much you love your family.
Well,
it's pretty cool, dude.
Yeah, it is fun.
Yeah. Okay, so you do the printing. You're very famous, you know, in that space, but also you do like the online stuff, which I want to dive into because there's a lot of talk about getting discovered when you're an entrepreneur and you're trying to get your name out there. There's a lot of AI and Reddit and, you know, but people forget like Google.
Yeah.
I almost feel like Google was like an old-fashioned thing.
Yeah.
Like people aren't focusing on Google anymore.
Well,
but that's something you specialize in, and you're here to say, like, trust me, this is a move.
Well, you know, for my business, I talked about we had to do the pivot. You know, where did the and marketing come from? The and marketing came in when COVID came, and I had to lay off all my staff, including my son. And it was my wife and I standing.
You had to lay off your son?
Yeah, to lay him
Damn.
off, right? Yeah.
Daddy, come on, man.
Yeah. He was one of the first ones back, though.
Okay, good.
And so the COVID happened. All we were doing was printing decals for social distancing. I mean, I was driving up to hospitals up island, and I had to put down lines where people could stand to space themselves and stuff like that.
May I intrude? How did you feel about printing the arrows that went in grocery store floors?
Yeah, and the footprints and stuff like that. It's like, oh my gosh, it's crazy. I had to put little footprints in elementary schools because to separate the kids, walk on one side and walk on the other, right?
I mean, printing's your business.
Yeah. Well,
how did you have any special feelings about? Did you have to install them as well?
Yeah, I installed them, and
Dude.
it was my wife and I doing the work. But
did you get hate for that?
No, I was helping people, and that's what that's my goal. My goal was to help people. So,
did you think they were a good idea?
Well,
you don't have to answer that.
You know what?
It's one of the things we joke about so much about. Remember the arrows in the grocery stores on the floor?
Well,
you know?
well, okay, so this is great. So we're talking about trust. Did I think it was a good idea? Well, the people I trusted told me it was a good idea. And then I had to do my own research and figure out if it was a good idea or not. And then I had to figure out, okay, how do I help people the best way based on the information that I have now and allow me to make my own decisions, allow my clients to make my own decisions. Okay? Not based in fear.
Right.
Right? So that's a lot of what I do is in the sign business, I'm telling people, okay, this is your idea. This is not a good idea. This is what I would do if I were you. You can do what you want. I will produce what you want. As a matter of fact, I have a meeting tomorrow with a guy, and I've already told him I don't want to do what you told me to do. It's not a good idea. Here's what I would do if I were you. So I think by talking to people that way and letting know this, if I were you and I was spending my money on this product, this is what I would do. So nowadays with digital with signage, I try to steer people away from signage. Like get the basic sign that you need on the front of your building, or the front of your pod, or the front of on your vehicle, so that your branding is there so people recognize you. But the most important thing to do is to be found where people are searching. So right now on your phone, 90% of people are still searching through Google, Safari. So Google actually pays Apple $1 million. I think it's $1 million an hour. It's like it's in the billions of dollars per year to be the search engine for Safari. Okay, so it's not. So let's talk. So you got to be found where people are searching. So when you're searching, people are searching on Google. So that's where you need to be found. But now things are changing because there's search engine optimization. Well, Google is really the main search engine. So that's what you need to be optimized for.
Hey, it's Kid. So listen, you've probably seen a couple of YouTube videos or whatever about microdosing and how it can cure all these amazing things. Most companies aren't living up to it. MindfulMEDS is. When I discovered them, my mind was blown. I knew I had to partner with them. So if you're stressed, a little bit of anxiety, I don't know, maybe you're depressed, you got some things going on, man, this could change everything for you. MindfulMEDS gives you the blends with lab-tested psilocybin, natural clarity. This is the most premium microdose you can get. They also have functional mushrooms that don't have any psilocybin in them. It's about finding out what's right for you. Go to their website, take their 3-minute quiz at mindfulmeds.io. I'll get the link in the show notes. Finally available in the US.
Save 15% off anything in the MindfulMEDS shop by using promo code Kid Carson.
But you still have to have a good website because people get there, but you got to keep them on your website because people, you got like 3 to 10 seconds to make a first impression and keep people to stay there. The problem is if you don't give them what they want, they bolt. And the average length of stay, according to HubSpot, is only 54 seconds on a website. Well, that's not long enough to get to know you or the business proposition that you offer, the products or the services that I offer, right? So you have to be engaging. So we offer tools to help people do that. and they just bolt right onto your existing website. You don't have to rebuild your whole website, right? It's like so many people are, spending, $3, $5, $10, $20,000 on it. You don't have to do that anymore. You can fine tune the tools, right? It's like, okay, we got a beautiful booth here. Where did the lights come from? Did they come with the booth? No. You added some of those on, you just told me, right? The camera equipment here. Okay, so we start with a framework and then we add what works for your business. It's custom, right? So that's the smart thing to do. So you got to get found in Google, and that means your Google business profile needs to be very, very accurate. And everything that I do for people, I offer free training on YouTube to do it yourself, because I learned it. And if I can learn it, anybody can learn it. I mean, I'm a high school graduate, but I knew enough to get married and stay married for 39 years. I got that figured out. But we teach people how to do that, but most people don't have time, or they're afraid. So we take the fear out of it. You can pay us $500 a month, $1,000 a month. You can go up from there. It's like, do you want a Toyota or a Lexus? I told you, used to be in the car business, right? They both do the same thing. They do it in different ways, and they do it in different speeds. So you have to spend more to get more speed. You have to spend more to get more efficiency. It's exactly the same thing with Google. You don't have to spend $10,000 a month. As a matter of fact, I think if you spend between $500 and $1,000 a month, your business is going to grow. But people are afraid of making a wrong decision. And I totally get that. I lived out of fear for years in my life, right? Making decisions out of what it's going to cost me. But people don't count the cost. The cost is not does it cost me $500? Let's say, let's say you do an appearance. I think you do appearances and that sort of thing. So I don't know what appearance costs, but let's say
little kids' birthday parties.
Okay,
I juggle and sing. And
do you do balloons?
Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah. Well, no, I'm not that advanced, dude. Come on.
So let's say an appearance fee is $5,000. So it's going to cost you $500 a month to have a Google business profile optimized. This is my basic value program, and people look for appearance, personalities, something like that near me. Who can I get? And you never show up, and you miss out on 3 jobs. That's $15,000, right? Now, you might have got the job in the first month that you worked with me, $500, and you might have got the job in the 10th month that you worked with me, that's $5,000. But the cost of missing out on being found is $15,000 because you missed out on 3 jobs by not spending the money. So, and I'm not saying that you should spend the money. I'm saying that you should market yourself. You can do it yourself. But what's the cost to marketing yourself? You've got a couple of kids, you've got a business you're trying to build here, you've got appearances that you've got to do. I've been on this treadmill before. When I lived in Ladner 25 years ago, my dad had a business, a computer cleaning business, and he would clean computers, and him and I worked together. And there was only the 2 of us. So he would go out and sell, and I would clean. But when I came here, I tried to do that on the side and get that going. But when I was selling, I wasn't cleaning. And when I was cleaning, I wasn't selling. So there's always a cost. And you just have to count the cost. Okay, am I prepared to pay this cost?
And how did you discover that Google was a thing? Like, your background was not this. You were selling cars, and you finally bought this business, and then were you just trying to learn how to market yourself? Like,
Google was a thing. Well, okay.
Well, that's a horrible question.
No. It's a totally valid.
You know what
question.
I mean, right?
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I'm picking up what you're laying.
Okay,
down.
good. Thank you.
So let's go there. So when it first came out, it was Google My Business, and before that it was, I can't remember what it was called. I'll have to look it up and pop it up on the screen. But it was called something else, it wasn't MySpace. I think that was a Microsoft thing, but it was called something else. And I was smart enough to register my company for that. So I got my Google presence set up there, and basically all it was your name, address, phone number, and you throw your Google on, or your logo on there, right? So I did that. And then some company found me, and they tried to get you to sign up for their directory, and they give you 5 stars, and they go and sign up for our directory and blah blah blah. I didn't even know that they had done that. Then one day, you and I were talking about putting frosted etch on the windows here. I was doing this frosted etch job for a law firm in Victoria, and the guy, I'm all finished, and he says, "Thank you very much. Hey, let me give you a Google review." I said, "What's that?" Like, I didn't even know what it was. He goes, "Oh, come on around here. Let me find your Google profile." And he finds my Google profile, puts a 5-star Google review in there for me. And I said, "Thank you very much." And then I didn't do anything with it for 3 years. I didn't reply to it. I didn't answer it. That's so rude. I'm looking at your tattoos. Do you like your tattoos? I like your tattoos.
Oh, thank you. Well, I have mixed feelings about them.
What's the first thing you did? You said, thank you. Right? You reply. I complimented you, and you replied to me. You said, thank you. How rude is it? Okay, so where's the camera? You've got a Google business profile. If you have Google reviews, how would you feel if someone paid you a compliment and they never replied back to you? Like, you're killing yourself.
Dude, I once wrote a letter to a DJ at a radio station.
Yeah.
And never heard back.
Yeah.
And I was heartbroken.
Yeah.
I was like, I was a teenager.
So I have a client that I did some beautiful signs for in Oak Bay. It's called Live Bistro. You should go there if you're in Victoria. He has got some Google reviews because he took over the space. He inherited the Google business profile from the previous owner. So it used to be an ice cream shop, and someone there left a negative review, and Google won't take it down. Well, I was talking to him and his wife about it yesterday, and they're very distraught about this. Like, they've got a 1-star Google review from a really peeved off customer that had nothing to do with them, and Google won't take it down. You know what I said? I said, Google gives you 4,000 characters to reply to a Google review. They only allow you 1,000 characters to describe your service or your product. They only allow you 300 characters to describe a service. They give you 4 times as many character space to reply to a Google review. Use that. Write a sermon. Say, hey, I'm sorry about this, but that wasn't even our company. And you can use that. I have 764 Google reviews. We have a 5-star rating. Now, they are not all 5 stars. It's hard to believe. Some people don't like John DeYoung.
I don't believe it. I don't believe you.
I've got a ton of 5 stars, and we got a bunch of 4 stars, but I actually have a few 1 stars, and all the 1 stars are specifically directed to me because I have a very direct personality. Ask my 3
They were
sons.
sensitive. They were sensitive.
They were sensitive, and that's okay. They're allowed to be sensitive. But I don't even think they were my customers, in all honesty. I could not find them in the profile in any of our database. Nevertheless, I took the time to take responsibility for how they felt about me. I'm sorry that I offended you, or that you were offended by my words. I took responsibility because ultimately, everything that happens in Alley Cat Signs, it's not necessarily my fault, but it's my responsibility. And you as a business owner, it might not be your fault, but it's your responsibility, right? So deal with this. When you get adversity, use it to, build your business, tell your side of the story. It's a great opportunity. And you know what? There's a lot of people out there, negativity is at an all-time high right now. So people are looking to not make mistakes. Like when I go to a restaurant, what's the first thing I do? I'm in Vancouver. I'm going to look for a restaurant. I'm going to Google it, right? I'm going to find it. Okay, they got a ton of stars. So now I'm going to look at it. Some people are just going to go straight to the negative stars. You can sort by best. You can sort by worst. You can sort by newest, and it automatically defaults to most relevant. When you search for the negative reviews, if you got 5 negative reviews and no replies, you're dead. You can have 1,000 Google reviews, but if you get 5, most customers aren't going to shop with you. Whether it's a restaurant, whether it's a tire place, whether it's a roofing company, Do
you think that's that's noticeable by people who are searching?
Absolutely.
They go to the negative reviews and there's no reply?
Yep. That's a factor.
Yeah.
Okay? It depends on your mental state. Some people, that's a major factor. Some people, it's a minor factor. Some people, So let me talk a little bit about the other thing that's a major factor. If you have a Google business profile and you have a Yelp profile and you have a Google address and you have your website, and in one it says Kid Carson Podcast, another one says Kid Carson radio show, or Kid Carson this and Kid Carson that, and their address is Vancouver on one, Beatty Street on another, Robert Street on another. With AI nowadays, it is so important for all those things to line up. We call it taking a nap. Your name, your address, and your phone number all have to be the same on all of those things. Okay? That
registered with Google.
Registered with Google and all those other things. Like Google will crawl it, but it's so important because that's how Google tells real businesses from fake businesses. A real business should take the time to make sure all those things are in alignment, right? So that's a really important factor, especially now with AI, because AI is going to your website and grabbing snippets. It's going to your Google business profile and grabbing snippets, and it's going. Oh, well, these guys got 3 different things. They might not even be real. Like, we might just delist them. They're unverified.
And that's Google's AI.
Yeah.
Doing that.
Google's algorithm doing that, exactly. But ChatGPT as well, because a lot of these are still going back to Google. They're going because Google has the most data, right?
So like ChatGPT is pulling from Google, Reddit, different places.
Yeah.
Google being, I guess, obviously a major one.
Everything's out there on the web, right? So like all of those things, all of those AIs have downloaded everything. That's what they call a large language model. It has consumed everything, and now it's parsing it and figuring out what goes where and what's real and what's not, or what it in its opinion, right? And it's programmed by programmers.
So if you're not paying attention to what you're doing on Google, that's got a ripple effect when people are trying to search for you, not just on Google or Safari, but also on ChatGPT, for example.
It's far-reaching. That's right. It's a ripple effect. If you drop, it's a piece of information in a pond, and where you drop that piece of information, it goes out and out and out and out there, right? It's like having like different phone numbers. Like Google pushes you or to have a separate phone number sometimes, and your Google strategist might tell you to do that so that you can track. Oh, this is coming from Google. This is coming from Facebook. This is coming, so you can track where your analytics are working, right? But if they're all different, you're actually hurting your overall presence.
Hey guys, it's Kid. If you're serious about getting known before AI makes personal branding almost impossible, you're going to love this. Step into a premium interview experience with Kid Carson, that's me, and collapse time on your growth. I'm going to tap into my network, skyrocket your exposure, and help the world fall in love with you. I really do pride myself on making you shine. That was always my favorite part of my radio days, having a new author in or having a local business owner in and just making them shine. I love getting the big names in here too, don't get me wrong. Joe Dispenza, 50 Cent, Eckhart Tolle. I got to interview Chip Wilson. That's amazing. But I'm also really obsessed with talking to the up-and-comers who know they have a powerful message for the world. So if that's you, go to kidcarson.com/promo. If your message can help this amazing community who listens to this podcast, then, this might just be a great fit. So hope to see you soon. Find the link to find out more in the show notes. And now back to the episode.
So there's a cost. Like I said, there's a cost for everything, right?
So by ignoring your standing with Google, the cost is just you don't show up in search results.
It can, or you get pushed way down.
Pushed way down.
Yeah.
Wow. So how do you get up?
You should go to my YouTube channel and watch.
Oh, there you
watch the free video.
Just watch I just want to waste time talking about it here, but you teach people for free how to do that stuff.
Yeah. There's a couple, and there's 3 things, or there's multiple ways to do it, but you need to have basically just follow all the blanks that are in your Google business profile. Just fill them in to the best of your ability. And if they give you 4,000 characters to describe something, then use 4,000 characters or as much to it. And you can use AI to do that, and you can build keywords into that, and you can just use the tools that Google is giving you. But the problem is most people don't take the time, or they don't think they have the expertise. And I get it. Like, there's a lot of things that I don't have expertise in. So the good news is we can use AIs to help us with that now. ChatGPT or Grok or Perplexity. There's Gemini. There's a cornucopia of softwares out there that you can use to do this to make your life better. The problem is it's too hard to, or it's not too hard. It's difficult to learn, and it's time consuming to learn. So
and to maintain.
Yeah. But so back to your question. How did you get into this? How did you figure out? So I told you how a customer did, gave me a Google review. Then I start getting a little bit of knowledge is a dangerous thing. Then I started to realize, okay, I need to be found on Google. How do you get found? So search engine optimization, SEO, was the big thing. So, we all get letters, we get text messages now, we get emails. I remember getting emails like 10 years ago, and this company from the States, they said they had all these good things, and they would do it for $99 a month. Well, I thought, I can afford $99 a month. You can't afford $99 a month. It's a waste of money. Okay? Like, if you're not spending $500 a month or doing it yourself, forget it. Like, you're just wasting your money. Okay? I'll tell you that.
It's a scam.
It may or may not be a scam, but
you're polite.
I am.
It's right.
Your results will not vary much. They will. Right. You will not make progress.
They're doing something, but it's so minuscule that maybe it's not even.
And it's getting worse now because Okay, nothing against pimply-faced kids, because I was one, but this kid in a basement or someone in another country trying to make a living, getting paid $5 an hour, is got this piece of software and they're just throwing in stuff, and it has to be a coherent plan, right? It's like learning how to drive or learning how to fly a plane. I've learned a few things over the years, but you don't go from 16 years old leaving your dad's driveway to driving at Phoenix International Raceway at 200 miles an hour in one step. It's a progression, and it's it has to. You need to build it all together, and yeah. So again, I have that available. I'm not trying to sell anything. I'm trying to help people.
No, I thought, hey, man, you're here, right? Checking out my booth. I'm like, we got to just sit and jam about your world, because it's fascinating. A lot of people are these. I didn't really think about Google that much, to be honest. Yeah. I think mostly about trying to push stuff out on Instagram or social media. Yeah. Direct people to my website, but I don't.
And those are all great things. Those are all important things for building your brand, but they're not where people are looking. Search is getting broader. People are looking on Facebook. They're looking on Marketplace. They're looking on Insta now. I grant you that. Google isn't the only thing like it used to be, but you need to have a cohesive plan that attacks all of those things at various levels. Mm-hmm. So I want to go back and address what I just said. I said, I want to help people. One of the biggest problems, like 90% of businesses fail within the first 7 years. I don't know if you knew that stat. Like 50% in like the first 3 or 4, and then in the 7 year, like 90% of businesses fail. And the reason that they fail is because most people don't plan to succeed. Most businesses are started by small individual people like you and like me, and they're just trying to replace the job that they just left for whatever reason. That's what most. So they're not they're not trained in business. They're not planning on making a big business. I'm not planning on making $1 million, but I do plan on making a profit, right? But if you can make a profit while helping people, that's good for you and it's good for me. And the more profitable your business can be, the better I can take care of you. I can actually lower my costs and give you more value for the money as time goes on, right? Like, I'm not going to get into a comparison between government, but the more liquid your government is, the better services they can provide. The more nurses and doctors they can hire. Let's talk about that. Mm-hmm. The more roads they can fix, right? Mm-hmm. More homeless people we can address and help. Those situations, right? So profit is not a dirty word, but it can be done ethically, and it can be done in a way that is a win-win for you, right? Mm-hmm. So you're a parent, right? You have a son and a daughter?
I have a stepdaughter. Okay. And I have 2 young boys. Okay.
So being a good parent, and I have an adopted sister, so it doesn't matter how these people got into your family, you're going to influence them. If they ask you to help with their homework, are you going to say no, even if you know how to do it?
Well, it depends what kind of mood I'm in. Yeah, right. John, come on.
No, we're going to help people because of our own experiences. Because by pushing up other people, by helping other people, we shorten down the learning curve, right? So I've spent the last 6 years learning what not to do when it comes to digital marketing. I've told you about the money that I wasted at $99 a month. I can't tell you about the $10,000 courses that I've taken that have been a complete and utter failure, right? Yeah. My wife knows. Right. But
a lot of money to waste.
But it wasn't a waste because it was an education, right? I also didn't go to university and spend $100,000 to learn how to do all this stuff. I learned it in School of Hard Knocks. So I have an SHK degree, but I don't have a BA degree, right? But I've learned from my mistakes, and I've learned from my successes. I mean, I've won awards with Toyota. I wrote a TV commercial for them. I've done some fun things with Jim Chattison Group and won some awards there. So I'm not tooting my own horn. I'm just saying these are the facts. These are things that I learned over the years. And now I have 700 and some odd Google reviews of people who told me how good I did. And I got a few that said how bad I did. And I've learned from them as much as I learned from the people who I did well with, right? Yeah. And so, the biggest mistake that I think that people make nowadays is we're looking at people as a sale or as a commodity or as a product. You're just Kid Carson. You're a man. You're a dad.
That's the nicest thing anyone has ever said to me.
You're a businessman. Well, I don't know you that well yet. Well, my kids told me to be myself, but not that much myself. Right. But you know what? I think you just treat people humanly. They'll learn from you, from your expertise, but they also learn from you, from your mistakes, and then they can make up their own mind. Like this fellow who's coming in to see me tomorrow, Dave, who I've already told him, this is a bad idea. This is not a good graphic. He's made it very clear that he wants to come in and see me and talk to me and work through this. And that's great. That's what I want. I want him to learn from my experience because he's a computer guy. And, you know, I mean, I had problems with my BIOS the other day and I couldn't fix it because I'm not a computer guy. Like I build computers, but when it came to that stuff, I couldn't fix it. But he probably could, right? And I can help him with this. And then, you know, a rising tide raises all ships, right? So I'll help him with better graphics and better marketing and getting found on Google, and then he'll pay me for that, and then I can help other people, and then we'll be here 5 years from now, right? We won't be here. We won't not be here like the Bay or in Kmart and Sears, right? You got to manage a profitable business. You got to take care of people. What was the worst thing about going into the Bay and to end there? There's more customers than sales, or, you know, like there's no one there.
Oh, you could never find anyone.
There's no service, right?
Yeah.
Like we've got to take care of our customers. If we do that, 2015, I was being mentored by a very successful businessman that I very, very much respect. And he said, you know, there's people, there's come up with mottos and there's come up with, you know, frameworks and stuff like that. I came home and I dwelt on this for about a week. And our business philosophy, I told you already, is we treat people the way we want to be treated. But that boils down to 6 words: valuable people, valuable relationships, valuable results. And that, you know, if we treat people right, then we'll have a relationship. And if they have a relationship, then they'll do business with us. And then if they have a good relationship, we'll have positive results. And if we have a bad relationship, we can go our separate ways and not do it again, but still have learned from it. It's still valuable. Yeah. Right?
Especially a side note, like the meeting you're having tomorrow with this guy. It's interesting that like people get really attached to like design. We want to make our own logo, and like it's just part of maybe it's because we have such a lack of creative expression in our Western culture, and we're stuck behind a desk all day, and then we get a chance to make our logo, dude. And then you got some guy saying, I don't like this sign. Your logo is not good. It's gotta be hard.
So that's because you've got pride of ownership. You've birthed something. You've created something out of your mind, right? I mean, look how I just talked about the 6 words. How proud I am of that, right?
Yeah.
So I get it. But when I bought Alley Cat signs or Alley Cat Insta signs, it had a really funky logo with a really scripty looking things. Now, I've been into NASCAR since I was a kid. I love racing. I love going fast. I've never raced, but I was very blessed. One of my kids worked for NASCAR for a few years, so I've been to a bunch of races.
Amazing.
And my dad actually, when he was a businessman in Victoria, sponsored some local race cars there, some at Western Speedway. So I got into that, and I would, you know, guys would come to me, can you put decals on the car? Yeah, I'll do it for half price if you let me put Alley Cat signs on the car. So I was at Western Speedway one time about 5 years ago, and it was more than that. It's about 8 or 9 years ago. My company name was on about 6 different race cars that day, right? And I could barely read it, and I know what it says. Right?
Right.
People get way too... Okay, I'm talking about ink here. You got your tattoos there. You know, you get one, it pops, right?
Yeah.
You get a sleeve, it all becomes noise, right?
Yeah.
So, this is exactly the same thing with political signs. You put one sign on the corner, you know, progressive, NDP, liberal, whatever you're putting out there, and then the next guy puts one there, and the next guy puts one there, and then the other guy puts one there, and the next thing you know, I've got a photograph of a corner in Victoria from the last election, like 30 signs on it. It's all noise. It all just disappears. So, do you want to have a pretty logo, or do you want to have an effective logo? I'd rather have something effective. Okay? Straight and to the point. Alley Cat signs and marketing. This says Alley Cat marketing on it because at some point in time I may sell off the sign business and just do the digital marketing and being able to go visit my grandsons in Phoenix and my granddaughter here.
Right, yeah.
Work on the road, right?
Yeah.
So again, this is the part of the cohesive plan. So keep it simple, get your message out there. What is your message? Kid Carson podcast. Don't make it super fancy font. Kids can't even read script font anymore. right? And then,
It's so true.
right? Well, we don't teach it in school.
It's so crazy. Yeah.
So we've got other issues that we got to deal with that are more important. You know, as long as the kids can read the stop signs and the yield signs. Okay, another great thing. Contrast. Okay, what color is a stop sign? Red and white. You know what colors work really well together in a logo? Red and white. Yellow and black. Seen a yield sign before? Okay, orange and black. All the construction signs. Those are all meant to be readable instantly and associate you with a message. Right?
Yeah, mine is Kid Carson Show,
That's
white
great.
and black.
That's great. I love that. And
Old good?
Yeah, it's all good. Yep. You done good?
We got the thumbs up.
Okay.
All right, good. Whew. I know. Before I changed the name of my podcast back to the Kid Carson Show, by the way, it was just because I'd have all these guests on, and it was called Loosely Enlightened for a couple of years.
Yeah,
and
it's a little artsy-fartsy.
Yeah, it's a little complicated. And people would
See, that was me being me. I'm sorry.
I'm not mad at you. But people would go on Instagram afterwards, and they would, in their stories, go, "Guys, I just had a great interview. I was just on the Kid Carson Show. We had a lot of fun. Look for his podcast. It's called Loosely Enlightened."
Yeah.
And I'm watching these, and I'm like, wait a second.
Yeah.
They started off by saying, I was on the Kid Carson Show, and because they've been saying it for 20 years, at least in Vancouver.
Yeah.
So I switched back. And so I'm glad I got the thumbs up on the simplicity of the.
And my suggestion
logo.
now is that you go back and find all those old podcasts and everything that you've been on, and put a note or post or put a new comment in there and pin it to the top if you have the ability to do that, and go also known as the Kid Carson Show, and that'll give Google symmetry across all of these different things, and it'll reboost you up in the algorithm, and it starts to find synergy, and that Kid Carson gets used over and over and over again. It's on podcasts, it's on Instagram, it's on Facebook. So you start to build that, and now you're building a foundation to get found again, right? Because I was looking at your stuff today on my way over doing my research, and you're a little all over the place. Right? So every one of your guests, you want to give us the media so that we can link back to you as well, right? So it becomes a two-way street because we're both invested in this.
Yeah. Right. And when you mean when you say give you the media, how is that linked in your Google world?
Yeah. So if I take this podcast and I link it up on my YouTube channel, then I put in there at Kid Carson Show, and it links back to your YouTube channel, so they can see it on your channel. Or
like in the description.
Yeah, in the description. Yeah. And then it becomes a bunch of behind the scenes metadata that we can put in there, and we can put it into descriptions and stuff like that. So, every piece that you do for other people is also a benefit to you, right?
So it's a benefit, for example, if you have a podcast, maybe to send the actual physical file to the guest and have them post it rather than just tag them in it.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's more powerful to let them post it separately.
Yeah, it's a backlink. So, and backlinks are where Google, it's a form of a backlink, and backlinks are where Google really gets verification of you're a real business, right?
Because, people get protective over, well, this is content I created. I only want it to be viewed on my channel.
Yeah.
So you're saying if you want to build discoverability.
Yeah, that's scarcity thinking. Why would you think that?
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I'm all about, hey, I share everything. It's all good.
Yeah. No, that's thinking about the $500 I have to spend to get marketing as opposed to the $15,000 of business that I lost because I didn't spend the money, right? So they're two sides to the same coin. Yes, there's scarcity. Yes, you have to invest, but, the more something is out there, the more it's reshared. That like, I don't have very many original thoughts. I don't know about you, but everything that I've talked about today, it either comes from, what my parents taught me, or what I've learned from other mentors, or what I learned from the Bible, or what my kids have taught me. Like we don't have that many original thoughts. We're all repurposing data. So you should be repurposing the media that you produce. You should be sharing that. You should be happy that I take that and I make a TikTok short out of it, or some guy in Phoenix, Arizona, who's got a kid named Carson, takes the Kid Carson Show logo and puts his little grandbaby on it or something like that, right? You want to get play out of there. That's going viral. You don't go viral just because you do something. You go viral because someone takes something that you did and adds to it and fixes it up and puts it on with the the Vancouver Canucks winning the, Stanley Cup or something like that, right? And now with AI, all that stuff is, there's, you can hardly own anything anymore. Your intellectual property, it's really not that intellectual.
Yeah.
It's AI nowadays. So I don't know if this comes up in the edit, I'd like you to add this in it. So I believe in AI. AI is the tool of the future. It's going to be here. But what you bring to the table, because you and I both have this gray hair here. Right. What I bring to the table,
you're right. I know,
is actual intelligence. That's the real AI. So you cannot get actual intelligence unless you have experience, right? So I'm not beating down on young people. All I'm saying is, like, I would never start a business nowadays. I would buy a business. Look at how many, I'm the last year of the baby boomers, boomers and we're retiring, we're closing, we're selling our businesses, but our kids aren't taking them and people aren't buying them. So my dad did this. My dad just retired. My dad's 85. He just basically sold his business or shut his business down last year. Stopped riding Harley Davidsons when he was 75. Stopped working when he was 84.
Wow.
Yeah. So
pretty wild.
Yeah, but couldn't sell the business. Like there was a ready-made cash machine there that someone could have picked up for $10,000.
What kind of business was it?
That was the computer cleaning business that he'd had for years. Government contracts. Now COVID would have been a little bit tough because no one was going to work. But there's businesses out there that are cash cows. But so why would you start something? And people just aren't being told this. People don't know how much huge opportunity is out there. And, a guy like me who's getting ready to retire in 10 or 20 years, like my dad did, will finance that business for you, right? Like, you come up with some cash, you got to have some skin in the game. I'm not going to finance the whole thing because you won't work hard if I finance the whole thing. I need you to be scared a little bit so that you're going to work extra hard.
Skin in the game.
You got to have skin in the game, right?
Yeah. Hey, guys, you got to check out the Sound Money Wallet. It's a way to buy physical gold and silver online 24/7 and then liquidate it. Everyone should have physical gold and silver in a transactable way. Details in the show notes.
AI squared is a phrase that I coined. So artificial intelligence with actual intelligence. You don't want to just throw all your eggs into an AI basket because they're like little children. They only know what you teach them, right? And AI is an actual idiot until you teach it, right? So actual intelligence with artificial intelligence, that's a combination that's going to be unbreakable. But there's a lot of people out there just trying to sell you or push you and buy this AI thing and set it up and it'll go. No, it doesn't work that way. It needs training. Even my Google reviews, I have a product that will reply to the Google reviews on my behalf. I trained it. It has my experience. It was garbage when we first fired it up because it came from some programmer. No, he's a good programmer, but he doesn't think like I do. He doesn't talk like I do. He doesn't care about customers the way I do. He's a great guy, but we're different, right? So everything needs to be customized.
Is that a thing you do?
I do that.
People can hire you to I wanted to quickly talk about the toys.
Okay.
When I say toys, I mean like the services.
So
and I know you didn't come here to
no, but I
brag, but I want to know.
This is for you, and I was going to program this for you. So this is an AI. This is a Google, what I call a Google review engine. So, but you don't have a Google business profile that I could find.
No, I don't think I do. I don't think about it.
Yeah.
Until today.
Let's fix that.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you had a Google business profile, do you ever buy coffee and just tap your phone?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Okay, so this does the exact same thing. This has an NFC chip built into it. So if
you hold it up so we can see what that is, just maybe over here. Okay. Like a credit card thing you're holding up.
It's basically a card, and it's a QR code on the back and an NFC on the front. Now this is not programmed, but I give these away to my customers. And if you want one, just DM me or send me a note in the chat, and I will give you one of these. If you're close, I'll even pay for postage or I'll drop it off.
Look at that. Such a nice guy, right?
We sell these for $27. There's no excuse not to get Google reviews, okay? You're just afraid to ask, okay? But if anybody's ever been on a date, you've asked, right? And did they say yes the first time? Probably not. My wife did not like me when she first met me. It was an uphill battle. But I was persistent. I was not afraid to ask, right?
Yeah.
Ask again, ask again. But when a person's right in front of you, like if you're at a restaurant, see, I have this on a lanyard around my neck, and I was doing some installs for Rogers with my son in the cellular phone stores up and down the island, and the guys finished up, and I said, "Hey, thanks very much. Are you happy with it?" And they go, "Yeah, that looks great, guys." I said, "Great. Would you mind leaving me a Google review?" And they go, "Sure." So, but if I just wait, I'm never going to get a Google review. But I said, "Great, pull out your phone." They pull out their phone, and I said, "Just scan this." Boom. Goes right to my Google business profile.
Oh.
Okay. Totally programmable. And I program them for you. And if you want them to go to your Google review page, we can do that. If you want them to go to a page where they can go either choose between Google and Facebook, we can do that. So we, but I'm local. I'm not just some mystery company out of the States or out of China or something like that, right? Like I've proven this. I use it myself. It's how I got It's how I got the last 400 reviews. The first 300 I did manually. I would pick up the phone and I would call my customers. "Hey, thank you so much for buying your A-frame from Alley Cat Signs. Are you happy with it?" "Yeah, great. Can I send you a link and you can leave me a Google review and give us 4 or 5 stars?" I mean, that's the other way of doing it. And I have another client in town, Horgan's Flooring, and he left me actually a review, and I put it in my presentation. I've spoken at trade shows and stuff about this as well. And he said to me, "John, why didn't you sell this to me before? It's working like a charm." And now he's got over 500 Google reviews, and he's number 1 in BC. I think he might even be number 1 in Canada.
Because he pulls up this card to people.
Yeah, or we send the link. So that's another thing that we do. Is so we can do it. We do database management as well. So we can send out the link, and that was how I did the first 300. Was I would send out a link, so as a text message or as an email. And then when you send them a text messages get opened up about 80%, right? 70 to 80%. Emails, 40% now. Mm-hmm. And if it's cold, if it's someone you don't know, like 10% at the most, right? Yeah. But so I always put in there Alley Cat Signs, John DeYoung, and then my cell phone number so they know exactly who it's coming from. So we can do that as well. So big key with asking for Google reviews is ask again, and then ask again, and then ask again. I've never, ever had anybody leave me a Google review. I asked 5 times. I asked 5 times via text if I have their cell phone number, and 5 times via email. I've never, ever had anybody leave me a Google review, a bad Google review, for asking them too many times. They can unsubscribe on the first time. They can opt out immediately. Okay, we do everything by the Canadian and American government regulations.
Yeah.
And I just had one guy say, "I'm leaving you a Google review because you kept asking so many times."
Right.
So, but
hey, you got to do what you got to do. It's hustle time, right?
Are you busy? Right. You got family, you got kids, you got school, you got work, you're running a business.
I need to be, honestly, I used to think that was being too pushy, but I get it. Like, people even to send me messages, like a person. Yeah. And like 3 weeks go by and I'm like, I haven't responded to that person. So I hope that people will reach out again. So
is this your apology? Because you
this is a clip. This is
okay.
Yeah, there's a couple of times where weeks go by, right? Or maybe months in our case. I don't know. But no, it's true. We're so busy that we can't take it personally. Like, hey, people got millions of things to do.
You have to understand, kid, that you're actually helping your customers, because your customers, most of your customers are helpful. Most of your customers want to help you. I had a time when I was at like 290 Google reviews, and I was trying to get to 300, and I sent out like 1,000 emails to all of my customers and said, "Hey, I need your help. I know it's been a while, and you may have already left me a Google review, but we're trying to get to 300. Can you help me by leaving us a Google review if you're happy?" Here's a true story. Like, literally, I did an A-frame for this lady, a brand new hair salon in Victoria, and it took us a long time to get to it because we got so much business going on right now. Or she came in and picked it up. It wasn't up to my standards. And then when I heard about it, I sent her an email and I said, "Hey, I know this went out and you weren't happy because it was taking so long, so we rushed it out, but I'm sorry for that. I will come pick it up and we'll fix it for you, and then we'll bring it back to you." And then I was going through my reports because I wasn't there when she picked this up, so I didn't ask her for a Google review. And I sent her an email because I have an automated email sequence, and I sent her a text message and I sent her an email that said, "Hey, would you mind leaving us a Google review?" And she sent me back a very nice letter. Says, "Really, it took a long time. I didn't feel it was professionally handled, and you still haven't fixed this thing." And it was like 2 days ago. So I said, "Thank you so much." So a communication tells you when there's a problem. and you can fix the problem before you get a peeved off customer who does leave a flaming Google review, right? So she let me know. And then I said, I'm so sorry. I went out, I picked it up, brought it back to the shop. We fixed it up. I brought it back out to her, and she hasn't given me a Google review yet, but you know what? She's a happy customer. I know that.
And she's not leaving a 1-star.
She's not leaving a 1-star.
Yeah, she's not that mad yet.
She's
said, just,
you know what? So this is me. I said, maybe we get 4-star.
right.
And then I left. So, but you know what? Don't be afraid of a bad Google review. A bad Google review can be a very good thing. Like I said, I've had 1-stars and I've answered them with the full side of the story. I've had customers that just said, no, I'm not going to leave you a Google review. And I've had other customers that said, I'm not happy and I'm not going to leave you a Google review. You're lucky I'm not leaving you a Google review. And that happens. Sometimes you just can't please everybody. I've had customers like that, right? So,
can you describe the power again? And maybe you've already answered this. The power of getting Google reviews.
If you're running a business and you want to get more business, you want to be found when people are looking for you. So when you're looking for, let's say, a janitor to come in and clean this space, you're going to look up janitorial companies or best janitorial company near me. Okay, the ones with the most Google reviews are going to pop up first of all. And if you use the word best, they have to have a rating of 4 stars or higher. If anything lower than that,
I didn't know that.
Google, yeah.
Oh.
You might learn a thing or two here.
I know. Jeez. It seems obvious, but yeah, that's cool.
If you're a 4-star, if you're 3.9 or less, you won't even show up. So Google has a cutoff of 4, right? Secondly, you want to be in the map pack because about 70% of the clicks, it comes up a sponsored ad. So it would be, XYZ Janitorial who paid for an ad, and then it'd be the top 3 janitorial companies would come up underneath that, usually based on Google reviews, but it's also things like the name, address, and phone number. All that has to be coherent. So having the most Google reviews does not make you the best, but as far as Google's concerned, but if you look at it and you go, okay, this janitorial company's got 300, this janitorial company has got 12,
yeah.
But he paid to be at the top, and then this company's got 200 and this guy's got 69. You're going to pick the one that you feel, you're going to look at the name, you're going to look at the pictures, you're going to look at the number of stars, you're going to click on one of those 3. Now there's also something that comes usually on the right hand side of the screen that is just one company. That's called the Google card, and by having the best Google reviews and a complete Google business profile, Google will profile that one business. That card gets 700% more clicks than the paid ad on the side right next to it.
Wow, and you can't buy that.
You can't buy that.
That's for paying attention to your reviews.
Your Google business profile. So you have to have your products, your services, you have to have your reviews, your name, address, and phone number, and all has to be there. And okay, another tip. You're going to have a lot of editing to do here.
Yeah, it's good, man. I'm going to keep this raw.
Okay. When I leave a Google review, I leave a photograph with it. A photograph increases the value to Google by at least 40%. So if you say, "Hey, John, thanks for the sign on here," Google goes, "Great, okay," or something. The worst thing is you just give me 5 stars and nothing else. The next best thing is 5 stars and a description. Mega bonus, 5 stars, a description, and a couple or 3 photographs and a video. Mega bonus for that. That's like you're getting, we've heard 10x, 50x, 100x. That's where it really comes in. That's why if you're a Google guide like I am, I've got over 10,000 contributions to Google. I have over 10 million hits on all the contributions that I've made. So as a Google guide, you get points for stuff. So if you leave a Google review, you get like 3 stars. If you leave a Google review with a description, you get like 10 stars. You leave a Google review with a description and a photograph, all of a sudden you get like 25 stars. It's like 5 times more valuable. And that's what you need to understand. So when I ask for Google reviews, I say, oh, by the way, can you leave a picture with that as well? Because it just mega increases the value, right?
Is video more than photo?
Yep.
Interesting.
Google's not perfect, and it's not the only thing, but it's the biggest player out there. So if you're going to play in the pond, you want to be in the biggest pond, right? So that's the pond you should play in.
And that helps even with search on AI, like ChatGPT.
Absolutely, yeah. And then things like Hello Siri or voice activation searches, right?
Like Alexa and all those things.
And all that stuff, right? It all helps with that because they're all drawing from the same pool from the same pools, right?
Interesting.
Yeah. So it's not rocket science, but it's very scientific. Like there's a lot of...
Well, the cool thing is this is stuff you can all do for free.
You can do
Everyone's trying to cut back on
Yep.
spending. This is stuff you can just do for free by asking for a review.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do that, and it's just it's common sense. Like, okay, what do I do when I make a purchase? I need to do all those things for my customers when they make a purchase. Okay, how do I find the things that I want to buy? I search. What do I look at? I value the reviews. I value the pictures. So you need to be doing that. You need to be enabling your customers to do that. You need to get over the fear, get over the nervousness of asking for it, because your customers most people are good people. They want to help you, right?
Yeah, you're right.
You know,
I've never been upset when someone asks for a review.
No.
It's kind of flattering.
And you can always just say no.
Yeah.
You can always just say, yeah. Like I had a guy the other day. I don't do Google reviews. Okay, thank you so much. Off my mail or off my sequence. So I don't want to bother you anymore. You've told me where you stand. That's okay. I'll move on to the next one, and he'll still be a valuable customer. I didn't peeve him off because I go, "What do you mean you don't leave Google reviews? I did a good job for you." Like, why get into that?
Yeah, exactly.
Let's move on.
Wow. Okay, what else do we need to know that I'm not thinking to ask?
Okay, so well, I name dropped my grandkids already, so that's
Right.
good. I name dropped the valuable relationships. Talked about me almost dying. Talked about the toughest thing. Oh yeah. So let's talk about what real life results here. So Michael McMullen is a realtor in Victoria. Goes to my church. Hired me to do his Google business profile optimization. So that means optimizing the name, address, phone number, all that stuff, but putting products, showing them how to, because realtors are great. They take pictures, they take videos, they get so much content, right? Mm-hmm. And you're competing. So when I started with him in I started him in November. He was like number 20th or worse, and it just goes down to number 20, and it doesn't show me any worse. Like I can't see if you're number 700 or what you were, right? But I made one change to his name or the description in there, and he went. I'm sorry, I did a bunch of changes for him, and I got him up to number 4 and then number 2. And then I made one final change, and he jumped 8,740%. He went to number 1 spot for showing up on Google for top realtors Victoria.
Wow.
So these are just real things. Swifter Law, local family law firm. So you need a good lawyer if you're dealing with separation and divorce and kids and all that stuff. And that's not the thing you want to go cheap on, right? So. Swifter Law, again, he was number 20. In 5 months, I had a 700% increase just by focusing on his Google business profile. And then one of his lawyers gave me a 5-star Google review and say, yeah, we've got clients coming in through the door. Well, think how much it was cost effective for them to invest.
Yeah.
In getting business. Yeah. So, and then if you have the ability to develop a YouTube channel, super, super powerful, because YouTube is owned by Google, and the cross-pollination between there and search is fantastic. So what you're doing, when we get you a Google business profile, we connect down at the bottom all of your social media. So social media used to not connect. Google used to do it on its own. It was like its own separate bank vault sort of thing. But now it's cross-pollinating with all the social medias out there, including X and Twitter and YouTube. But different. They're like different currencies. They have different exchange rates, right? So YouTube is the one that you want to be on. If you're running a small business.
Google's going to draw from YouTube, obviously, before anyone else, because it's
exactly
in the family.
It's in their family. Exactly.
Yeah. And so this Google business profile.
Yeah.
Do you have to have a registered business, or how does that work? Like if you're a sole proprietor, for example.
Can be a home-based business. It is easier if you use your business address to register it. And you can do that and then get it registered, and then you can convert it to what they call a service area business. So you can literally hide your address, and then you can put up to the top 10 cities that you work in. So you could do Vancouver, Surrey, Delta, White Rock, or I guess White Rock's part of Delta, but North Van and that sort of thing, right? Now, what I would strongly suggest is you focus first and then build out from there. Okay, but yes, you can. And Google will verify you, and they're going to want to see a sign that says that's on the front of your business, or they're going to want to see bills that are made out in Kid Carson radio show credit, and it's your Visa bill. They came to Kid Carson XYZ Smith Street or whatever, right? So
you have to for registered business.
No, it doesn't have to be. It can be a sole proprietorship.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. So again, that could change. Google is, a law unto itself.
You mean the world changes constantly, every 10 seconds?
Yeah.
I don't know how you keep on top of this stuff, man. It's pretty impressive.
There's a lot of homework.
You're pretty good for a grandpa.
I have a great team. I have a great team as well. And yeah, like I said, I've spent money on courses, right? But you get enough experience and then people start paying you for it. So
yeah.
Another thing that I want to talk about is Google has glitches every now and again because it is such a big universe. So people might have heard about Google reviews dropping off a few months ago. This was a thing. So what is the number one thing if you've lost 20 Google reviews? What's the best cure for that? Get 20 more, right? So while it does have problems, it turned out that was basically just a display error. The Google reviews were all there, just the totals dropped down. But things happen, software glitches, and those all came back. I was freaking out, but I actually do a backup. There's programs out there that download all my Google reviews. I know where every one of them came from. I know the day that it came in on, and I have that all in a spreadsheet. Because that's my reputation now. It's not who I am, but it's who my company is.
Right. You recognize the power of it.
I totally recognize
having all those Google reviews have boosted you up.
Yeah.
To the point now where you're the go-to guy.
Yep. Yeah, I'm the Google review expert for Victoria and Vancouver anyways.
Yeah. Especially when you're the guy preaching this stuff.
Well, yeah.
You put your money where your mouth is.
Oh my gosh, kid, that kills me.
Right?
That kills me. So yeah, if someone's trying to sell you digital marketing, just please look at their Google business profile and find out if they know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
That's all that I ask. You don't have to do business with me. Just make a wise choice for yourself because it's your hard-earned money.
Well, yeah, if someone's selling services like this and you go to their Google, their business profile on Google, and they don't have a whole bunch of 4 and 5-star reviews.
It's kind of embarrassing.
Yeah, if they have no reviews, that's the worst. Yeah. It's a scam, probably.
And don't let anybody tell you that it's the cobbler's kids that have the worst shoes, right? We do beautiful websites. I don't have a beautiful website, but I do have Google reviews. I have a functional website, and I have what we call the website concierge. This little pop-up that comes up in the bottom right-hand corner of your website. You can put it wherever you want. But when we talked earlier about you got 5 to 10 seconds to make a first impression, and people don't stay in the website, it's because they can't find what they want. Give your customers everything that they want. You should give them the pricing. And I didn't invent this. This is Marcus Sheridan wrote a book called They Ask You Answer. It's one of the smartest things. Is like every question your customer could possibly ask should be on your FAQs, or should already be on the first page of your website. Like, answer all the questions. And what's the first people want to know? How much does digital marketing cost? It's $500 a month plus a $500 one-time setup cost. Or if you sign up for $1,000 a month, then you don't have to pay the $500 or $2,000 or $3,000, whatever. That's how much good digital marketing costs. Anything less than that, it's a waste of money. So don't do it, or do it yourself. Okay? How much does an A-frame cost? An A-frame costs $245 to $345 depending on the size, and the file setup to design it is between $50 and $125. There should be no secrets in your business. Don't say, well, my competition will find out. Your competition already knows how much you charge, right? So just don't be hiding behind that. Make it easy. This is to make it easy. It's not because the customer doesn't want to give you a Google review. It's because you're making it hard for them to give you a Google review. I make it easy for people to do business with me. You want a pop-up banner? It's $295. Can you get them cheaper at Vistaprint? Yes, you can. Are they cheaper at Vistaprint? Yes, because they're cheaper, right? I don't want to be the low-cost leader, right?
You want a 5-star review after your thing shows up and they love it, and it's sturdy.
It still works a month later, right?
Yeah.
I want to stand behind it, and that's why I need to sell my products at a profit so that I can be there a year later or 5 years later or 10 years later to take care of my customers, right? So, the low-cost leader is always the first guy to go out of business. Kmart, Sears, right? Cheap prices, bad management, bad purchasing power, right? We've been in business for 40 years, There's other good sign shops around. There's other good marketing companies around. We're not the only one, but we treat you like family. I hate it when people say you're like family. You're joined the family. No, you haven't joined the family. You're not my family, but you're my customer, and I'm gonna do absolutely the best I can to take care of you.
I've been married 39 years. I know what family is. Give me a break, man. I got a bunch of kids.
Yeah,
right. So, yeah, it's funny.
What else would you like to know?
Well, I don't know what I don't know. You know what I mean? It's like when you get a guy who's like an expert in this area, I just want to see what you got for us.
Okay.
I don't know what to ask you.
So I try to keep it really, really simple. So you got to get found, and then so the easiest way to get found is to have a good Google profile. Okay, that's going to get you found on Google. Then you got to get people to your website. So you need a decent website. So you have to have some decent search engine optimization, but that's kind of the second tier thing. But then that little pop-up when they get to your website, that's what makes it, and maybe you can pop a clip in of that. So that website concierge that tells them who you are, you see my face pops up. Now there's an instant connection. And please do not make it an AI avatar. It should be you. It can be filmed on your cell phone. It does not have to be studio quality, right? Like, it's just, hey, this is John. Welcome to Alley Cat Signs and Marketing. If you're looking for signage, click on this button here. If you're looking for digital marketing, click on this button here. Hey, welcome to our digital marketing website. If you want to know more about this website concierge, it's $100 a month. Click here. Like,
and this is I've seen this on your website. I'm trying to remember what it looks like.
Yeah, it's just like a it's a pop-up video.
But it kind of was in the corner.
It was in the bottom corner, so it wasn't intrusive. It says click here on it. Okay, click here for more information. Like a FaceTime like widget, right? Is all that it is. So and
your face is in the middle of the circle.
Yeah, I'm there. Yeah. I mean, you can put in just a logo or something else, but kid, it's about personality. It's about connection, right? We're all starving for connection nowadays. We got more lonely, depressed people than we've ever had. We have 7 billion people on the planet, and we're all lonely, right? Mm-hmm. So we're starving for connection. So we don't want to talk to a robot. We don't want to talk to a chatbot that's AI operated and no one's running it. It's garbage. This gives you the information. It can be programmed with AI as well, but it's so important to build a connection, because now there's a face. You can put a face to the name. Oh, that's John. He's the owner.
Yeah, the personal branding is huge.
I hate that guy, or I love that guy, right?
Right. I want to be that guy.
He's older than I thought.
It's a little video that pops up in the corner.
And it has buttons on it, and it directs people to where you want them to go, because that's all people just want to, just make it easy for me.
Yeah.
Okay. So, on my website, it's going to be click here for A-frames, click here for car graphics, click here for, whatever product that you're interested in. Or on the digital marketing side, because I go 2 different websites for that, it's click here for the website concierge, click here for the Google cards, click here for search engine optimization or Google business profile optimization. They're all on there, and that can change from time to time. It's totally customizable. We can run it for you, or you can run it, but it just engages customers, right? And it's not going to be long before everybody's going to be shopping online. Like Amazon did this to us. Amazon with the Google reviews or Amazon product reviews made it so easy. It's like, I like that, I don't like that, right? Mm-hmm. And then you've got to have a good connection policy. So that little website concierge is just like a hotel concierge. They're there to tell you where a good place to find what it is that you're looking for. So, you want your shoes polished at a hotel, they'll call the guy for it. You want a digital marketing on my website, you click on this button. You want sink faucets or washers at Home Depot, you click on this button here, right? It's all about making it easy for them to get to where they need to be.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's the thing you do.
That's one of the things I do.
Yeah, one of the toys in the tickle trunk.
Yeah.
He's got tons of them.
Mr. Dress Up.
Is there anything else?
I think we've covered it all. I really do try to keep it simple. If you got 12 minutes you want to learn, this is a long video, but the easiest way to learn it is I did a video on my YouTube channel called 3 Wishes for Digital Marketing. And I actually took the genie from Aladdin. I took about a 10-second clip out of there, because that was one of my favorite movies growing up with the kids. That's a great thing about being a dad, is you get to watch all these great Disney movies over and over and over, Toy Story and Cars and all that stuff, right? So I took a little bit out of that, and I go, okay, here are my 3 wishes. I want to be found on Google. I want to have a bunch of Google reviews, and I want my website to be effective. And I've covered all those products. If you get those 3 basics down, you're laughing. If you take care of your customers, now you do those things right, and you take care of your customers. You offer good product for good value. You're going to be a very, very successful business person in Victoria or Vancouver, or wherever you're at.
Yeah, there he goes. He's smart. He knows it all. He says, pay attention to your business or your Google business review.
Yeah, and
he's open for marriage advice. Married 39 years, man. Just hit him up in the DMs, and he'll give you the advice.
Sounds good.
It's good.
Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, brother. Cheers. Hey, it's Kid. First of all, I'm so grateful you're here listening to this episode. I'd love to be able to share announcements with you, events, things coming up. Please join my email list from kidcarson.com.